Okay, I'm heading on a bit of an adventure. Yeah, taking the Land Rover towards New South Wales from Victoria. Finally the borders have opened, which is good. So take the old girl for a bit of a cruise. I think tonight we're going to stay somewhere near Sale, still in Victoria, but hopefully on this little beach campsite. Hopefully it's good. Apparently there's mosquitoes, but whatever. We'll see how we go. But yeah, there's actually one flying around here on my arm. Go away, mosquito. Nothing like a little bit of Melbourne traffic. And this is what I get for leaving at like 2 o'clock. Should have gotten organised last night and just left first thing in the morning, but you know, whatever. There's pretty much water either side of me now, which is pretty cool. We might get a little glimpse of it if we're lucky. The beach is over there on the other side of the sand dunes, and the lake, inland lake's just there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Down here, down this main road, there's all these little campsites that duck off, so they're pretty well signed from Camp 19 all the way down to Camp 1, and you can just duck in there. They're a little bit sandy, nothing too boggy, nothing too serious to worry about. But yeah, you can duck in and check out all the different campsites. Some have got toilets, some haven't got toilets. Head all the way down to Camp 1. Camp 1 is actually a paid site, but apparently it's really not that much better. So I'm not even going to bother going down there, but from what I've read, Camp 9 and 10 are pretty good. But if not, I might just head back to, I think I was just at Camp 19 where I met a young bloke there, and he was pretty cool, so I might just hang there and drink a few rums with him. So I might make this my campsite tonight. It's a nice little beachy area, but unfortunately there's no beach access here, so I can't actually get down to the beach. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I might go for a bit of a drive and see if we can find something at least that I can walk to the beach so I can go for a swim in the morning. So I'm at this other little campsite. It's not very flat, but I can back the car up to there and probably wouldn't sleep too bad there. So campsite, but it looks like it's got beach access, so that's more my style. So I can go for a swim tonight and a swim tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Beach access. Yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, good bit of beach access here. It's only a short walk, and yeah, just behind me there, just over that little hill, is where I'm parked. So you're pretty well protected from the wind. I could park just here next to me. There's a little track down there, but yeah, you're going to be copping the wind all night. Not really that safe to have a fire because the embers will be blowing everywhere. So yeah, don't really want to cop the wind all night. So see how we go. I reckon back that way where I am is the spot, and then when I want to go for a swim I can just go for a lovely stroll. So you would have got a really cool time lapse of me lighting that fire and getting a bit of wood, but I forgot to push record, so this is what you get. So just a quick rundown of the campsite at the moment. We've got the dune rooftop tent. This is the smaller 120 version, not the 140 wide. It fits perfect on the Land Rover Perentie. Pretty much stock standard. Little table set up like so. Got one side basket on there. I normally put wood or max tracks or rubbish in there on the way out. Just the foot locker, which has just got a whole bunch of knickknacks and food in it. This stays packed like this all the time, and I just stock it up with stuff. And then in the top tray there's bits of coffee and salt and pepper and other bits and pieces. Got 20 litres worth of 40 litres of diesel with us on this trip, and 40 litres of fresh portable water. Bottom box is all spare parts, hoses, belts, you know, throttle cable, all sorts of bits and pieces. There's some oil and stuff at the back there. The top one's recovery gear, tool bag, fully waterproof tool bag, hammock, trusty old Bushman's. There's a little Weber in there, not going to use that. Big gas bottle because my little one ran out. And the Waco fridge back there. I'll show you the dual battery setup because I had a few dramas. But yeah, and obviously this Land Rover's converted to hardtop with custom sides, unzip. They also have some mesh on the inside, which is pretty cool. So if you do decide to put the stretcher in, you can put a stretcher in, sleep in the back, nice and cool. That's if the rooftop tent's not up there. So I'll just run you through the dual battery setup I've got in the Perentie. At the moment it's slightly different. I've got 2 batteries sitting in there because the main deep cycle battery that's in there is beginning to fail. I'm only getting you know, 1 day, if that, out of the 100 amp hour battery running just the fridge. So I paralleled up a secondary battery just to give me some boost. So technically I've got 200 amp hours of power, but not really. So with the setup now, just under the seat, I've got my main crank battery and my second deep cycle battery. They're running through 2 isolator switches, so I'm not using a voltage sensitive relay or anything like that to isolate or de-isolate the deep cycle battery. I'm literally using some hand switches. I start the car on the main switch, which is the standard cranking battery, and then once she's up and running, I flick over and parallel up the second battery. And this also gives me the ability to isolate the main cranking battery from any of the other electrics that are within the Land Rover. So if I do have a bit of a fire or some typical Lucas electrics start to puff some smoke, I can just drop that isolator quickly and isolate the power. And then with the second battery, I've pretty much just jerry-rigged it up and put it in parallel with the deep cycle battery, and they're all running through a little marine fuse box with auto reset breakers and a few switches on the back there. So the stereo's wired up through one switch, the fridge is wired up through another switch, and then eventually when I can be bothered wiring in my extra camp lights and all that sort of stuff, the camp lights and all that sort of stuff will be wired up, which is pretty cool. Yep, that's right, tonight's dinner, 2-minute noodles, chicken. I can't be bothered cooking, and I'm cooking on this little sucker because I've got to use all these gas cans because they're starting to go rusty inside the box because I got a bit of water in there, so I want to use them up before they, you know, perish and explode. Well, I think that's me done for the night. I'm going to kick back and relax, have a beer, sit by the fire and watch the sunset. Yeah. Okay, ta-da!